Hi, my name's Dina, and earlier this year I moved to Bali, Indonesia to start my journey to immerse myself in Indonesian culture and deepen my understanding of traditional Indonesian dances. A couple of months into my move, I travelled to Banyuwangi to visit my friend who was accepted into the Indonesian Arts and Culture Scholarship Program, a program that I joined back in 2021. However, back then I wasn't able to physically travel due to the pandemic, so the program was conducted online. Coincidentally, my friend was placed with Sanggar Lang Lang Buana in Banyuwangi, the same Sanggar I was placed with in 2021. Long story short, while I was there, I was offered a spot to join the program again, and of course this was an offer I couldn't refuse. Since I was late to the program, I found myself trailing behind the others by a couple of weeks in terms of the material covered. When I arrived in Sanggar Lang Lang Buana, they had already progressed through learning traditional gamelan music and also the choreography for Tari Paju Gandrung, a renowned dance deeply embedded in the Osing culture. They had also started learning Tari Kembang Bakung, a dance inspired by the Seblang Bakungan ritual in the Bakungan region, which is where Lang Lang Buana is located. The ritual possesses a rich history dating back to the 1600s. Although the majority of the Bakungan region today has embraced Islam, the Seblang Bakungan ritual is still performed today, to purify the village and ward off evil energies and spirits, as well as to show their gratitude for the blessings their creator has given the village. The ritual includes a mystical dance. During this dance, the performer enters an altered state of consciousness or trance, seemingly possessed by an ancestral spirit, accompanied by gamelan music and rhythmic drumming. The Seblang Bakungan ritual is conducted once a year, usually after Eid al-Adha. We were lucky enough to be in town for this year's ritual performance, and were given front row seats to get a clear view of the procession so we could understand the origins of the dance we would be performing. The Seblang dancer made her way through the many spectators, her eyes shut and seemingly already in a trance. She held a traditional dagger known as a keris in each hand and circled the area a few times before sitting in front of a table filled with offerings. From within the crowd, tribal shamans carried in roosters and conducted a ceremonial cockfight which symbolized sacrifice. Following the cockfight, the Seblang dancer, with her eyes still shut, was guided by a shaman and a woman, where she began an improvised dance, which is said to be the movements of the spirit possessing her, controlled by the shaman. After the dance, she picked up a tray of flowers and walked amongst the villagers who threw money at her in a frenzy in exchange for flowers. It's said that purchasing a flower from her will bring luck and good fortune, and the more flowers, the more blessings. Once they had run out of flowers, the Seblang dancer began dancing again, doing laps around the same area. Typically, the Seblang dancers stay possessed in this state of trance, with their eyes shut the whole time until around midnight. Watching the Seblang Bakungan ritual live gave us a new perspective of Tari Kembang Bakung and gave us a better understanding of our roles in the dance. We also had a better understanding of the spirituality of the dance and became more aware of our movements, making sure not to disrespect the ritual in any way. As July drew to a close, we received the exciting news that 5 of us would have the opportunity to perform this dance at the opening of the EJ Sport Banyuwangi Blue Fire Ijen Com Challenge at Pendopo Sabah Swagata Blambangan. Those selected would showcase their skills in front of the esteemed region of Banyuwangi, Ipuk Fiestiandani. Recognizing the significance of this opportunity, We went into overdrive, rehearsing day and night, trying to master every aspect of the dance. The day before the show, we headed to the venue for a relaxed rehearsal on stage to figure out our positions. After going home to rest, we set our alarms for an early 3 a.m. wake-up call to get ready with hair and makeup for our sunrise performance. Despite struggling with the early start to the morning, I was looking forward to having the opportunity to perform this dance before our final show in Jakarta.
Dina, can you sit here? Absen dulu, scan QR, absen dulu.
Kita persembahkan dari Kembang Bakung.
Foto-foto clean.
Ini persembahan dari 5 negara, Rusia, Australia, dan
After the success of our performance at the Blue Fire event, we wasted no time gearing up for the Indonesia Channel performance in Jakarta, where all 9 of us would be showcasing our talents alongside 36 other scholarship awardees. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs paid us a visit to see our progress, along with representatives from Echo's dance company, Mbak Tutut and Mas Kroser, who travelled from Solo to help us refine our dances and begin to work out how they would combine our dance with the dancers from the other 4 participating regions in Indonesia. They also shared some valuable tips with us individually on how to enhance our moves, guiding us to be our very best on the big stage.
Getting it before everyone else.
I'm a luggage. Are you a luggage? What do you know? QRSTUVWXY. Oh, you're the background dancer. And now the Indonesian. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N.
Once we had arrived at our hotel in Jakarta, we were given some time to relax and unwind before beginning our week of intense daily rehearsals at Gedung Wayang Orang Barata and finally at the Indonesia Channel venue at Lapangan Banteng.
Okay, so let's start, Mas Ken. Kita mulai saja. Teman-teman pemusik, terima kasih. Mas Gondrong oke ya? Oke kan? Kalau nggak oke, suruh pulang.
No time was wasted during these rehearsals, where we dedicated ourselves daily from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. under the guidance of the talented Mas Gondro Bonato, who meticulously refined our music ensemble and seamlessly blended musical elements from 5 distinct regions of Indonesia into a harmonious composition. And under the direction of Mas Eko Peche and his dedicated team at Echo's Dance Company, we were expertly led into integrating 10 diverse dancers from 5 Indonesian regions into a cohesive and captivating performance. Finally, we headed to a historic square in central Jakarta called Lapangan Banteng, where the Indonesia Channel event would be held, and we would showcase what we had learnt over the past couple of months to the Minister of Foreign Affairs herself, Ibu Retno Marsudi, along with representatives from participating embassies and of course friends and family and residents of Jakarta who would attend this public event. The excitement of performing at such an incredible location began to sink in as we walked through the square. It later dawned on us how big the stage area was, and we quickly began to rehearse to prepare for performing on such a grand stage. Rehearsals went on until late in the evening, going over each segment of the show, arranging and rearranging choreography as we went along. In this particular section of the performance, Mas Eko Peche and his team decided to blend Bali's traditional dance with Banyuwangi's Tari Kembang Bakung, drawing inspiration from their shared spiritual and mystic beliefs. During this segment, Pak Sabar Haryanto from Sanggar Langlang Buana and Bli Adi Gunawan from Sanggar Seni Semarandana gracefully danced around Yasmin and I in a ceremonial manner, serving to introduce Tari Kembang Bakung and amplify the overarching theme of mysticism within the performance. On our final rehearsal day, we conducted a partial dress rehearsal and performed the entire show from beginning to end, ensuring that our timing was flawless. This run-through also involved finalizing sound and lighting elements, as well as making any last-minute tweaks to enhance the overall quality of the performance.
Oke, siap.
The day had finally come to showcase our talents at the Indonesia Channel event, marking the end of the Indonesian Arts and Culture Scholarship Program. It was a bittersweet moment where we were eager to show how far we had progressed and ready to impress Jakarta with our performance. However, there was also a touch of sadness, realizing that our time together was nearing its end. As guests started to arrive at the venue, nerves started to kick in. We all made last-minute touch-ups, took photos together, and encouraged each other to do our best. No matter what happens, the show must go on.
Bapak dan Ibu, inilah dia Indonesia Channel 2023. Selamat menyaksikan.
Sejati neng.
In the end, the Indonesia Channel performance was a total success. After months of building new relationships, being immersed in a new culture, lots of hard work and dedication, it all seemed to go by in a flash. I'm grateful for the new friends I made along the way, culturally diverse from different corners of the world. We were unified by our deep interest in Indonesian arts and culture. Now that it's all over, I hope we'll cross paths again soon.